Hey guys, what is going on? This is your boy, Regular Josh 1, and we are back with yet another video on this crazy ordeal when it comes to Coyote versus Acme. Or, as I'd like to call it in this situation, Coyote versus Warner Brothers Discovery. Now, it's been kind of a roller coaster, because last week, like I'd say literally a few days ago, I think it was on Thursday, we talked about how the movie was being shelved essentially for $30 million for tax purposes. And obviously, as you can see, I wasn't happy about that. Lots of people were not happy about that. A lot of filmmakers, for obvious reasons, were not happy about that. I don't know if it was the pressure, if it was the pushback, the blowback, whatever. I have no idea. But apparently, they reversed that situation. They said, no, we're not going to shelve the movie. We're actually going to allow streamers to potentially buy this film. And they're going to be able to have it on their streaming services, or maybe put it in theaters themselves, or yada, yada, yada. They reversed that decision rather quickly, which was very surprising to me. First of all, I would like to say thank goodness that they came to their senses and said, yes, we're going to allow people to see this movie by other streamers potentially having this film. It's crazy that they couldn't have done this from the beginning. You had screenings of this movie where people are saying pretty good things about the film, which actually got me pretty interested in the film myself. It has high test scores from the screening, and you had very interested buyers when it came to this film. You had three things, essentially, that made it obvious that the film had some sort of value. And yet somehow they still said, nah, we're going to gain $30 million back in tax purposes. Again, this is Warner Brothers Discovery that we're talking about. And I think it's very clear. Warner Brothers Discovery is the dumbest studio company in all of Hollywood as of right now. So I bring up the Deadline article specifically. I haven't read any other articles on it yet, but I did bring up Deadline specifically because, like, the way that they kind of talked about the situation specifically with Warner Brothers Discovery is kind of funny, because you can tell they were also kind of like, yeah, Warner Brothers Discovery, you guys are incredibly stupid, okay? So let's go over some of the passages that are in this particular article. With the actor strike just ending and everyone, streamers and the theatrical schedule, in need of product, it seems foolish to have a studio like Warner's leave a branded asset like Coyote vs. Acme lying around and taking a $30 million tax write-off on the $70 million production, which again, they would have still been out of $40 million, so stupid. They even say it's dumb. $30 million compared to $70 million. Like, come on, guys. With Amazon now in the theatrical game, it will be interesting to see if Warner Brothers actually allows the streamer to theatrically release Coyote vs. Acme, since the Burbank lot is too cheap to do so, given its dire financial straits. Just kind of calling them out on it pretty much. I mean, like, because it is ridiculous. Again, it's ridiculous that they didn't do this from the beginning to allow these other streaming services to purchase this film. Like, I think that would have just been the smarter move. But again, this is Warner Brothers Discovery. They do not make smart decisions. They don't. Okay, we all know that here. But it would be very interesting to see if, because Amazon is, like, I guess the biggest contender in terms of wanting to purchase this film. And so let's say that they do happen to be the ones that do purchase this movie. It will be very interesting to see if they happen to release this movie in theaters. That's if Warner Brothers even allows them to do this. Who knows? But if they do, it would be very interesting to see how well it does in theaters. And it would actually be kind of amazing to see if it does very well in theaters. Like, if, let's say if it is a box office hit, which probably would have been the most likeliest outcome, if Amazon were to do a theatrical release and they were to gain the box office benefits from it being a box office hit, a lot of people would probably be pointing and laughing in their faces saying, you guys literally are dumb for not allowing this to go into the theaters. And now look at all the money that you guys missed out on. idiots, you know what I mean? So I would love for something like that to happen, essentially. The new Warner Brothers Discovery administration needs to have a come to Jesus with itself. That's a very interesting choice of words there. Pretty funny, to be honest. Realizing that if there's anything worse than taking a feature theatrical slate day and date on Max and keeping talent on film and filmmakers in the dark on that, it's axing finished theatrical films and even ones that have a ton of footage in the can. Yeah, we hear you that the previous regime's $70 million greenlit movies are too high a cost for a Max direct-to-streaming release, but why wasn't it decided early on by Warner's last week that a finished movie would be sold anyway to a streamer and the money gained on that versus burying it in a vault forever? Coyote vs. Acme has reported high test scores indicate it's a worthy asset somewhere. Exactly. I don't know how they didn't remotely think that, hey, we have a finished product here. Why not see if other streamers want to purchase it? Which, again, they were there. They were there. They wanted to purchase it, but they still said no. I have to wonder exactly what made them change their minds on this, right? Again, was it the blowback from the public? Was it the backlash from the filmmakers as well? What exactly was it that caused them to change their minds and say, yeah, you know what, let's go ahead and screen this for these streamers, and we will go ahead and see who puts up the biggest price tag on this movie, and we'll give it to them. Like, again, the Looney Tunes brand isn't Harry Potter, and it's certainly not the Marvels. The brand has been turned upside down, reinvented, and reset several times during the course of its 90-year-plus history at Warner Brothers. Certainly a family movie that grosses between $160 million to $200 million worldwide wouldn't do damage to the studio, but rather play directly to the audience it's supposed to play to. See, even Deadline is making, like, predictions that it would have made $160 million or $200 million worldwide. Because most likely it would have made it. It's a big, again, it's a movie that is produced by James Gunn, which a lot of people like his movies, and it's also starring John Cena, right? That would have been in the makings of being a big box office hit. And again, if it tested well, if people saw the movie and they're saying good things about it, and you have interested buyers that wanted to purchase this film, why did you guys decide that the first thing you're going to do is write it off for tax purposes and just get a measly $30 million? If Deadline is even saying this movie would have most likely made $200 million worldwide, $160 million or $200 million, even with a marketing budget of probably also $70 million, bringing the entire total cost possibly to $140 million, $200 million worldwide, and then probably more than that, right? You probably would have made way much more in profit, but you were willing to settle for $30 million and take a loss of $40 million. I can't fathom that. I literally just don't understand. It's crazy. It's literally freaking insane to me. So, again, I am glad that they are reversing their decision and allowing this movie to at least have a second chance at life, because now, considering that it possibly will be bought by other studios, people are going to be able to see it. And that is a good thing, especially for people who worked on the movie, whether you're a filmmaker or an actor, producer, director, writer, you know, all the people who worked on this film, at least their work gets the chance to be seen. And that's the biggest plus side out of all of this, in my personal opinion. I probably would end up wanting to check out that film whenever it gets released. Hopefully it still does get released after all this. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say about this situation. I would love to know your thoughts on the fact that it's been reversed and now it's possibly going to be able to be seen by the public now, being sold hopefully to a good streaming service or being released in theaters. I would love to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and hit the bell to be notified on my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, you're hearing it from a regular bunny in a regular world. Peace out. Thanks for watching.